Okay, got my notes. The questions are right here, and why is the Force pulling us together? It must be for some sort of reason, maybe to discuss some of the plot points that we saw within The Last Jedi after seeing it a second time. There's much conflict in you. There's much conflict in me. Yes, there's conflict in me. Maybe if we talk it out, this will help. Let's see if we can make any sense to what we just saw and figure this out together, okay? I have 10 questions I would like to talk to you about, and we'll go through them one by one. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it in a logical sense. Let's go Vulcan on this, all right? Let's do it. Okay, when the Star Destroyers arrived at the beginning of the film and caught the rebels evacuating, or in the middle of their evacuation, as they mentioned, why didn't they just start attacking the convoys? Why did they wait for the dreadnought? Well, maybe it was the arrogance of the Empire because they knew they had them there helpless as they were evacuating, so maybe they just wanted to show off their power with the new weapon they've got. I mean, they've done it in the past with the Death Star, a Star Killer base. I mean, they like showing off technology, so maybe that's why they did it. You buying that? I think you're reaching. Yeah, okay, let's go to the next question. When Poe went in and attacked the Dreadnought's cannons, why didn't their shields prevent that? The Rebels have a shield. I don't think we've ever seen shields in Star Wars. They've mentioned it before. But why not raise their shields to protect the fighter? I don't have an answer for that. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Well, here's another one. If it takes one bomber to take down a dreadnought, why send 5? Well, maybe tactically that makes sense. I mean, I've never studied military tactics, but maybe they do send a numerous bombers, knowing that many of the bombers will be destroyed, in the hopes of one bomber has enough inventory to destroy said target, right? Maybe? That's kind of a waste of resources, don't you think? Because the films were made from old World War II movies. That's kind of the inspiration of the TIE fighter fights. Maybe George Lucas and crew just simply resorted to that, and that's why they had so many bombers. Yeah. Hmm? Oh, I'm reaching here, aren't I? Wow. Shit. If Luke didn't want to be found, why leave a map to where his location's at? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that either. Kind of doesn't make any sense because I just read that Rian Johnson wrote the entire story of The Last Jedi before The Force Awakens was even completed. So there's a little loophole there, right? I don't know. Alright, question number 5. Are we ever going to find out Snoke's origin? Why he is so powerful the way he is? How he rose to power and became the supreme leader of the First Order? Are we ever going to find that out? I mean, are we? When we find out that the Empire is tracking the rebels, right? And Finn, Rose, and Poe discover, yeah, how are we going to sneak on board? Why do they call Maz? Poe never met Maz. Rose has no reference from Maz. Finn met Maz once and he ran off to run away. So how do they know Maz has that frame of reference or resources to find a code breaker to help them in their situation? Well, maybe Maz had a reputation that she knew code breakers. I mean, didn't she mention that in The Force Awakens? I thought she did. I think she did. No, she didn't. So, yeah. Does every planet have 2 suns? Well, maybe the entire Star Wars saga is in the same solar system as Tatooine. I thought it was like taking place across a galaxy. I mean, they go through hyperspace, they go through light speed, and they go through other portions of the galaxy, right? But maybe the actions and the situations of this particular story took place in the same solar system as Tatooine. Is Rose now equal to Jar Jar Binks? You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I know that's kind of mean, but she added nothing to the plot. Her mission meant nothing to the plot. It was irrelevant. Her backstory impacted the story in no way, shape, or form. So, was it relevant? She was a waste. That whole side mission was a waste. And she was not charismatic in that whole scene at the end where Finn was going to sacrifice himself. I mean, you were with me, right? I was so excited because, like, hey, that's the perfect arc for Finn. He is going to sacrifice himself. This is the perfect way to send off a character. It would make the stories just completely epic and make it memorable. And what does she do? That was stupid. You know what it was. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. And what did she tell him? We save the ones we love, but in the background we see the Empire penetrating that gate with a cannon Finn was about to destroy. So everybody she knows, leadership, Leia is all on the other side of that wall and is being destroyed, and she kisses him? That was the most inappropriate, wrong, ill-timed kiss in cinema. It was forced and it was, ugh. Even Finn was like, what are you doing? And that line was so forced and cheesy. It was a weak addition to the film, indeed, yeah. Luke was a hologram, similar to like that watch that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore in Total Recall. Remember that? Anyway, he's a projection at the end, and Kylo Ren fights a forced hologram at the end, which is really anticlimactic, and it really meant nothing. It was just a waste of time so the rebels can escape. But how is it he can be there but also bring a pair of dice for Leia to hold? Which, by the way, when the hell did Han get dice? When did he ever hang them on the Millennium Falcon? In no movie in the past has he ever referenced dice. He has never purchased them, spoke about them, and we never seen them. So why are they so relevant now? Well, Han was a scoundrel. You know, he probably gambled as well, so maybe it's just understood that a scoundrel who smuggled for the Empire and Jabba the Hutt has dice in the cockpit. It doesn't matter that he never mentioned it at any point in all the other films he's been in, nor have we seen it, or nor was it suggested. I think they're going to add it to the Han movie is what they're going to do. Oh. Luke says that the Force is everywhere, and it's vanity to say that the Jedi can control the Force. It belongs to everyone, so does that mean everybody can use the Force? Well, if you remember in Rogue One, that one guy who was blind, he was sensitive to the Force, so that's maybe something we've never spoken about, but it's well known that as long as you're sensitive to the Force, anybody can use it. Maybe that's what they're looking to do. They're trying to interconnect those side stories that they're coming out with every other year to the original trilogy, interthread them. That kind of kills the mythology and the dogma of the Jedi Order, right? I don't know. How does that make sense? I thought I'd find answers with this film. I was wrong. I've never felt so alone. I know how you feel.